Discovering possibilities and potential with passion every day. This is a TPPN production. Welcome to the iPad Possibilities Podcast, episode number 67, TextExpander, ABC News, and Flipboard. Well, welcome. This is the iPad Possibilities Podcast. And for today's show, I've got 3 apps that I've discovered and have found incredibly innovative, and one of them incredibly time-saving. So that's the main content of today's show. But before that, I wanted to just let you know some projects and things I'm going to be working on and will let you know about shortly. The first is I'm working on a journal project. I've been contacting developers that create journaling and diary type apps and seeing what's the best one out there. So I've got about 7 different apps already, and I'm going to be going through these and doing a episode on just different journaling apps coming up. So I'm very excited to bring that to you. I think it's a great opportunity that the iPad has because it's always with you, and you can just journal whenever you want to. I'm going to find the best one out there. So I'm going to talk about that in a future episode. Another project I'm currently working on, and I should get this item in the day, and we'll be doing some extensive testing on it and let you know how it turns out. But I thought, hey, the iPad has that camera connection kit which gives you audio out, and we've done audio in and audio out through mics and things. I was wondering, hey, can I do 5.1 surround sound out of the iPad through this camera connection kit? So I found an adapter, a USB to optical adapter that does 5.1 sound. And I've got all the necessary cabling, and I now have a audio receiver that I've had for a while. I just didn't have room to set it up until moving into my larger location now. So I've got the surround sound speaker. It's receiver hooked up to all these speakers, and it's a perfect setup. And I'm wondering if I encode the videos properly, if I put those AC3 audio tracks in there, will the iPad be able to export that through that camera connection kit, through that adapter, to that receiver? Will I be able to get 5.1 surround sound out of the iPad? That is, I think it'll be very cool to test out and see if this works. I know optical out should work fine through that camera connection kit with this adapter. I'm just wondering, hey, can I get the surround sound working too? So that is another project I'm working on, and I'll let you know how it turns out. I think it's another exciting thing that many people will be interested in, especially as they start integrating iPads into home theater systems. So that's my other project, and with that said, let's get on to the different apps I've been using this week. So the first app is something I've heard about and have read about and listened about for such a long time. It's called TextExpander, and it initially was for the Mac. And the concept is, with TextExpander, you have an abbreviation, and when you type that abbreviation, it expands that text out into something much longer, paragraphs in length even. So the concept is, things that you type over and over again, misspelled words that you want corrected, are instantly corrected with TextExpander. So the initial use case I saw for this was, I do many different emails for many different purposes. I want different signatures on each email that I do. And currently, with the iPad operating system, iOS 3.2, you can only have, as I found, one signature per all your accounts. And I think this is just a ridiculous restriction for those that use the iPad for email. It just doesn't work. So I was trying to find a solution for this, and I came across TextExpander, and I've heard about it for a while. It's for the Mac, but it's also for the iOS devices. It's a universal app. It's $5, so it works on all my iPhones and iPod Touches and iPads, and it works great. So TextExpander on the Mac, I think it's like $30, and it's a great app, and I am actually using it more and more as I do email. So I've got my email signatures, and I just type in, TPPN SIG, and it gives me that full signature I like to use. Or for my other work, I'll be able to just use different signatures for those too. So I was able to sync my signatures from my Mac to TextExpander on the iPad, and it does it wirelessly. And the cool thing is the app on the iPad really does stand alone. It stands alone. You don't need a Mac to use this. You don't need a Mac even to sync your TextExpander between multiple iOS devices. So this is the cool thing. So if you just want to work on your iPad as your main device for doing all your email, all your work, all your productivity, you don't have a Mac, you just want to do all your work on the iPad, which many people are finding they can do. With TextExpander, you can add all of your snippets, all of your things that you want to use over and over again. So the concept is things that you type out a bunch, things that you have to auto-reply to a bunch. Just anything. Just let your imagination go wild. What do you type over and over and over again on your iPad that you want to be automated, that you want to be sped up? This is what this app is for. So once you launch the app, you're able to have different groups. So I have a group called Signatures, and I've got my different signatures in there. And when I click on one, I'm able to edit it and edit the abbreviation of that signature. I'm able to send that content, that signature, to the mail client. So the concept here is I've been using this for a couple days now. So I have my signatures. I send it to mail, and it opens up my built-in mail client. And since I have multiple clients, you're able to select which email you want to send it out of by just hitting the tab there of your sender, and you're able to send it out from any of your accounts on your iPad when you hit send in mail. So I do that, and I compose my email from there. So I start, if I want to compose an email, start with TextExpander and just find my snippet, find my signature I want to use, and open up in mail. You're also able to copy a snippet to your copy board, or whatever you want to call it, your copy paste board. And you're also able to send it to your Twitter client if there's something that you want to tweet out quite a lot. I'm not sure where this would come into good use because, I don't know, you have 160 characters. I'm not sure where you would use this there. But so you have all those snippets that you have there. And there's also some built-in snippets like TYVM, thank you very much, and some date things. So you have all those built-in features there. You also have the ability to share those snippets with other iOS devices. So this is the cool thing. So you're able to save, time writing and all those things that I wanted this app to be used for. But the cool thing that I discovered is you're able to sync these snippets to another iPad, another iPhone, another iPod Touch directly from the iPad. So the different iOS devices interact, and the iPad can become that central device, and those other ones are just the satellite devices. So you don't need a Mac to use this. You absolutely don't. It was the coolest finding when I was testing this, that the iPad becomes the central location, not the Mac, not the PC, but the iPad. So TextExpander is $5. It runs on all your iOS devices, and I think it's a fantastic app. If you're running into the same problem that I was of I need multiple signatures on my iPad, and it simply doesn't do that with the built-in setting. So this is what I found to solve that big problem I was running into. I wanted to use the iPad for productivity, and the built-in stuff just wasn't cutting it. So that's TextExpander. Love the app. And just full disclosure, I did get a free copy of the app to review and all that. So just wanted to let you know about that. But great app, and I will probably be purchasing a copy of this app pretty soon here. So the next app is, the next two apps are innovative apps that I just thought, hey, these make great iPad apps. These are kind of the iPad 2.0, as I was talking about, and people that really consider the iPad as something different. So the next app is ABC News. They recently released an app. It's pretty simple. So what it is you have this globe once you launch it, and you're able to go around the globe and just glance at the pictures. And if you find something that looks interesting to you, so I stumbled across Caddyshack. Back to the Caddyshack, Where Are They Now? And that has the title there, and you just click on it, and it launches up the story, and you're able to read more, and launches up a fuller page story. And it's just a really innovative way to browse the news of the day. And a very cool thing is you're able to actually shuffle and just randomly find something on the globe to show you, to share with you that news for the day. And you're able to shuffle and find things you would not have looked at otherwise. And you're also able to open up different what do they call them? Different sections. So you have Good Morning America, World News 2020 Nightline in this week. So if you click on Good Morning America, it will actually open up all the different stories on Good Morning America. And you're able to play these videos back on the iPad. So this becomes more than just a cool-looking news place to read stories, but it also becomes your place to get the latest videos, all the programming from ABC as far as the news stuff. So we now have ABC for their entertainment things, right? We have the ABC app that works fantastically well for getting lost and all those shows. But we now have the other end of the spectrum now. We have Good Morning America, World News 2020 Nightline in this week, and I hope they add other shows as they see fit. But we're getting more of a fuller picture of replacing the television with the iPad with this app, because now we have the news, right? We've been able to get entertainment stuff, but this is one of the first ones that is really doing the news in a big way. So I think the ABC app is a great app, and I'm going to love to see where they take it and what they add to it in future releases. It's totally free. It's called the ABC News app, and I'd recommend downloading it and just playing with it today. So the final app of the day is Flipboard. And this is another one that I heard people talk about as something really amazing and innovative. And I was kind of skeptical, but I launched it. And I really was blown away. It was a free app. I believe it still is a free app. I'm not sure if it's invitation only now. I don't know. I think it's still available. But with that said, it's basically, it's called Flipboard. It's described as your social magazine. So you put in your Facebook accounts, your Twitter accounts, and different. And I think it's limited to those two right now. I think they have plans to add other social things to it. But it's a very cool way to. I don't like looking at my Facebook feed, right? So it's a very cool way to look through your Facebook feed. So instead of just going to facebook.com, I launch Flipboard, and I get a magazine of my Facebook feed. And that's a very cool thing. You just flip through and see the pictures that people are taking and sharing. You get the different quotes that people are sharing. And it's done in a way that it's a pleasant way to look at Facebook. I've never enjoyed reading through the Facebook feed, and this is the first time I've actually enjoyed doing that. So if you're someone like me that really did not like the experience of Facebook, just reading Facebook feeds, this is a great app to check out. You also have access to your Twitter in a much different experience. Normally Twitter's this endless feed of text, but with this one, it turns it into a magazine. So it'll find the photos in there and make it magazine-like. It will separate out the text and the tweets into a grid and make it all look very nice. So it's very much a magazine experience for your social interactions. And that's a cool thing, and I'm going to love to see where they take it. And it's called Flipboard because you just flip through your social interactions, and it's very much designed for content consumption. Yeah, not much interaction. Absolutely no interaction at all. So this is your app to kind of browse through the days of your day on Facebook and see what people are doing. And then if you want to interact, just go to facebook.com or whatever to interact with those people. So Flipboard, it's totally free, a fantastic app that I wanted to share with everyone. And that kind of wraps up the three I've been playing with. There's another app I'll talk about Sunday. So if you want to join us Sunday night, we do a live show every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at tpbn.tv. Click on the iPad Possibilities podcast and go to the live show at the bottom. And that's where we do our live show. So join us this Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to check that out. I'm going to be talking about some very cool ways to share your iPad screen to any web browser with a non-jailbroken app. So, and a lot of other good news things and just a ton of things to talk about this Sunday. So please join us. And if you'd like to leave feedback, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at iPadPossibilities@gmail.com and 209-542-iPad. Share your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you and share some of your voicemails on the show if you'd be interested in that. And if you'd like to support the show, you can do that by going to tppn.tv and going to the iPad Possibilities Premium page and signing up as a premium member for $2 a month. Or you could also go to the App Store and for $2.99 purchase the iPad Possibilities Podcast app and get the shows 24 hours early. So that's how you can support the show. And with that said, you've been listening to the iPad Possibilities Podcast on tppn.tv. This is Tim, and I'll talk to everyone again next time.